Hey guys, I'm gonna try a new recipe and I'm going to just wing it. So hopefully this turns out good. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to make a kind of a veggie tikka masala. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. The Indian dish, because I love that. I loved it when I could have it with chicken. But I did make one a couple weeks ago with just cauliflower and carrots, but I'm going to try something different. So this time I'm going to use some broccoli, red potatoes, sweet potatoes, eggplant, and I think I'm going to throw a can of chickpeas in it too, because I love chickpeas. And of course, what's not pictured here is an onion. Of course, you're going to use onions. So let's start it up. Okay, so what we're going to do first and foremost, because it's going to take probably the longest to do, we're going to cut up our eggplant, and I'm going to put it, it might not fit all in this little towel, but I'm going to put it on the towel, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with salt, and I don't know if y'all know this, but that takes away the bitterness of the eggplant, which I didn't like eggplant to begin with because it was bitter. But I just realized I wasn't cooking with it properly. So these are huge, like they're huge chunks. So I'm gonna cut them into like fourths and then sprinkle them with salt. Would you look at that? They all did fit. Okay, so now I'm just sprinkling it with salt. Try to get all the pieces. Probably making a big mess, but that's okay. Okay, so you get them all sprinkled, and then we're gonna let them sit for, I'm gonna do, let's see, what time is it? I do maybe 20-25 minutes. I might do 30, but it kind of just depends. I'm running late for supper, so we're gonna do that, and then while we're waiting for these to what is the word for it here? To get rid of the bitterness? To sweat? I'm gonna try sweat. I don't know. That sounds gross, but we're gonna just, that's what it's doing, basically. We're gonna cut up the rest of our veggies here. And I'm gonna get my rice started because I use basmati rice. And you kind of have to let it sit. I mean, you don't have to, but I let it sit for about 15 minutes or so because it makes it fluffier. So I'm gonna get that started and then start cutting up all the vegetables. So let's do it. Okay, so I didn't like the way my broccoli looked. It had a couple of ugly spots on it, so I decided not to do that. But what I have in here is 1 medium zucchini, 2 red potatoes, 1 small white onion, and 1 sweet potato. And then I just kind of honestly just dash some olive oil in there. I mean, don't put a whole lot, maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons, if that. I would say maybe just 1. And then kind of give it a really good toss. And I'm about to do that in a second. And then I'm going to stick it in the oven to roast for about, I'm going to do 25 minutes at first. Let's see how that goes. I bet y'all were wondering if I forgot about the eggplant. Well, I almost did. I'm trying to put the cart before the horse. Anyway, I have about 6 minutes left on the timer. So after that 6 minutes is up, I'm going to rinse the eggplant in a colander strainer. And I have like the little spray, hose that I'm gonna like just pull up and spray and move them all around, make sure they all get all that liquid off of them. So I'm gonna see if I can see the liquid that's coming like out. The salt's drawing out of them. Just get all that bitterness out. So I'm going to just rinse them really good, and then I'm gonna throw them in with my other veggies, and then I'm gonna throw them on to roast. So be back in a flash. Okay, y'all, so now I have stir them up really good with the olive oil, and I'm going to roast them. I have it preheated at 400, and I think I'm going to do 30 minutes and see how well that goes. And to be honest, y'all, this is a lot of veggies. So I might only like do half of these in the dish and like, you know, just use the other half for something else. But so I'm gonna cook the rice while I am roasting the veggies, and then I let the rice simmer for about 20 minutes, so you know it should be hand in hand and go well. So I'll let y'all know after that. Okay, so I cut up and minced 3 cloves of garlic, and then I'm about to add some spices to the garlic and let them get all good and acquainted, and I will show you what spices I'm using. Okay, so I'm going to use a tablespoon of the ginger paste. I'm going to use 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground cumin, 3/4 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and then 1.5 teaspoons of the garam masala. Alright, I have the garlic in here, and then I have all the spices. They'll clump together and look like that. But I poured just a tiny bit of water in just to make sure it don't stick to the bottom. But we're about to add some crushed tomatoes, so it'll get all this off. So, just a second. Okay, I added the crushed tomatoes, and it was a 28-ounce can, 1 pound. So I'm gonna let that mix and incorporate it really good, and then I'm gonna add some diced tomatoes. Okay, here are the diced tomatoes. I used a let's see, a 14.5-ounce can of the diced tomatoes. I poured out just a tiny bit of liquid, but I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I did. So now I'm gonna let this stir, mix really well, and then I'm going to, in a minute, add a can of coconut cream. So hold on just a second. Alright y'all, here's the coconut cream. It is 13.66 fluid ounces. Alright, chill. Jeez. So, I'm going to pour that in there, and then I'm going to give it a good stir, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, here we're stirring the coconut cream in. I'll give it that really nice, like, I don't know, I think it's like a beige color. This is going to be so good. I cannot wait for this. So we're going to let this kind of mix for a few minutes and kind of just watch it, because I'm honestly in a hurry. I'm so hungry. It's like almost 9 o'clock at night, and I've not eaten anything today, so I'm trying to be quick with it. But normally, you know, just take your time and let it kind of simmer for about 20 minutes, but I'm in a hurry, so that's what's going on. So, yeah, I'm starting with the spatula. That's just where my head is tonight, somewhere far, far away. So in just a minute, I will be adding the vegetables to it. So stay tuned. Okay, while we're at this stage though, I normally kind of taste test it to see if there's anything that I think, you know, it needs. I just added some ground coriander because I love that stuff and it's so good in these types of dishes. I might add a little more of the garam masala. I'm not sure. Let me just see how this goes. But I'll definitely post that before you get to this point where you watch the video if you're trying to do the recipe at the same time. So, yeah. Let's see how this tastes. Okay, so I did add a little bit more turmeric, however you want to say it. And then I added some more coriander and some garam masala. because I like that really potent taste of it. I really like that. But I mean, if you don't, you know, by all means, don't do that. Don't add more. Also, you can add cayenne to this if you wanted. I don't like spicy stuff, so I did not add cayenne or chili powder or anything like that. Chili powder is not actually that spicy, but cayenne for real. I would not add that to anything. And then in just a second, we're going to, hold on, I can do it now. I'm really bad about this, y'all. I'll measure, okay? So we're gonna splash some of the organic agave in there. So let's see. About that much. This is why I'm so bad with recipes. Like, oh, how did you do that? Well, shoot, I don't know, and I can't ever tell you how I did it again. So this is gonna help me by doing these videos, help me keep track of what I actually do in the kitchen, because I never measure anything. So let me get this stirred up really good and taste it and see. Okay. Okay, no lie, that was perfect. So I'll have to try to see how much the measurements are that I added. I think it was about a teaspoon of turmeric, and then another teaspoon of garam masala, and then about, honestly, 2 tablespoons of ground coriander. I love ground coriander. Love coriander, love cilantro. So yeah, I'm gonna let it come to a little boil here, and not too much, and then I'm gonna add the veggies. Okay, before we do that though, I think I'm going to put about a tablespoon of tomato paste in here, just to give it a little bit more of a consistency, like a thick consistency, because this is really, you know, runny. So I'm gonna do that before I add the veggies. Alright, so I added the veggies, and I wanted a bit more of a creamy taste, so I added about half of a cup of plain dairy-free yogurt. I think mine's coconut milk yogurt. I think that's what it is. It's silk. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it in a second. But because I wanted it to kind of have more of this color instead of the dark red color. So that's all I did there. And then I'm just letting it kind of do its thing. I'm gonna stain my little wooden spoon here. I stained it the last time because the last time I made this is what I used. But I didn't make it quite like this. To be honest, y'all, I am totally winging this. Like, I'm not going by recipe. I'm not, I didn't have any idea what I was doing when I made the video. I was just like, look, I need to clean out my fridge because I got some veggies in here, and let's see where it goes. And I was craving some Indian food because, I mean, who doesn't like Indian food? So yeah, so this is where we're going. I'm going to give it a taste test and see if it needs something or whatever. So, hold on a second. Okay, it tastes great. I am going to add some lime juice, and this is just a disclaimer. I'm not a professional chef. Half time I don't know what I'm doing. I just wing it. So, we're throwing in some lime juice. I don't ever measure anything. I think I already told y'all that. So, I just kind of go with it. I just go with it. I like a little bit of a tang. So, I'm going to see if that's good. We'll try that and see. Alright, so that tasted great. I added a tiny bit more because, you know, why not? So I altogether used about half. I used half of a lime, so the juice of half of a lime. But of course, if you like it tangy, you know, use more. If you don't like it as tangy, use less. All depends on you. And I think this is almost done, honestly. Which makes me really sad. I don't have any on hand right now, but I love fresh cilantro with this, but I don't have any, so I'm just gonna have to use like the little dried kind, which makes me sad. But you know, what the heck. So I'm gonna do that. I'm trying to think if I want to add any of the chickpeas in here or not. I think I'm going to. Hold on a second. I added chickpeas because I love chickpeas. And honestly, I think that'll do it. This is a huge cast iron pot, y'all. So I made a lot of this. Luckily, I love it, and I will eat the crap out of it. And there's my rice over here, the basmati rice. Hold on a second, let me see. I cooked the guys some hamburgers, so I got that in the way. I'm sorry. So there's the basmati rice. So I'm going to, of course, put that down first, and then top it with the mixture, and then top that with a little bit of the cilantro, and then that'll be it. So, let me know what y'all think. This was especially from Mel, my friend Mel. She asked me to do more cooking videos, so this is what I got, because this is what I was feeling tonight. So, of course, if you don't like the vegetables that are in it, feel free to leave them out or add different kinds. This is just what I had on hand and what I felt like would be good. So that's it. I'll show y'all the bowl when I get it plated. Bipit wants to say hi. She's really concerned about the hamburger patties over there. She's trembling for them. Alright, here it is. So I got my basmati rice on the bottom, and then my tikka masala mixture on the top. And I haven't taken a bite yet, so I'm really excited. Hold on, I'll tell you how it tastes. Y'all, it's great. Honestly shocked, because I just kind of threw it up. You know, I had no plan on what I was actually going to do, but I love it. Yeah. So, I decided not to add the dried cilantro, because that's just a disgrace. You just don't do that. So, I just put some green onion on it, because I had some fresh green onion. So yeah. That is it. If y'all try it, let me know what you think. Thanks for bearing with me and watching it. So, I wish all of you the best. Peace, love, and much respect.